It's a dope move.
Yeah. It's a big game. Who you know that got it behind the scenes, like behind the O-line, soon as the QB say hype. It's big game, big game. Analysis from the player's point of view. Injuries, big trades, player news. Yeah, sector competition, and he play with Tony Dungy. Better listen, I'm talking about Big Game Sports Buzz. Said everything you need and more. Yeah. Big Game Sports Buzz. I thought I told you once before. We call him Big Game James. Yeah, Big Game James. Big Game.
What's going on, everybody? It is that time of the week. That's right. It is time for Big Game Sports Buzz, where the sports fanatic and the pro athlete get together and talk all things sports. I am J-Stogs, the buff nerd. Let's go. And, of course, I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend. The reason why this podcast is called what it is, Big Game James. What up, guy?
Stogs, what is up, dog? Welcome. Crazy week.
Always. Let's do it. Hey, it's always a joy and pleasure to see y'all. I had to take my hat off and scratch the head, but I just wanted to say to y'all, welcome in. Thank you for joining in. Make sure that you like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share this podcast with your friends, families, and of course, your frenemies. Because what do we say? The hate helps us to what? Elevate. That's right. If they're not hating on you, you ain't doing nothing. Okay, right. You ain't doing nothing. Of course, you can catch us on your favorite podcast platform, as well as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You can check Big Game's Future Perspective on TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and again, wherever you are watching social media, X, formerly Twitter. How long do we say that? How long do we keep saying that? X, formerly Twitter.
I don't know
either. I don't know.
If you say Twitter, people will still see it. So
yeah.
Whoop, whoop. I still say Twitter, but I did change the logo on there. I made it the X and took the little bird off. So
I did see that, but you know what? I'm still waiting to add back because I lost 3 friends on my MySpace. So hey, I'm looking for my Fab 5. I need 3 more people. I'll add me. Yeah, just I just need.
Hey man,
I had 2.
Do you think you can still look up Facebook? Because I was young and dumb. Not Facebook, excuse me, MySpace. I had some stuff on there that I know I should have deleted. Bruh. All right, man. I'm sorry, dog. Boy.
Hey, my bad. Yeah, I just saying, look, we said MySpace. 5 people are like, this is not for me.
Right. Like, I thought they were going to be talking sports. They said something about MySpace.
We are talking sports for sure. Of course, we'll be talking 4 downs and the latest headlines that we see that interest us. Well, of course, we'll have our oh hell no. There's some good ones this week. Oh my gosh, what is going on with people? We'll have between the lines because it is football season, and tonight's top 5. Actually, this is a good one, and we've done this before, but it looks like things are changing in the National Football League. Who's your top 5 teams right now for 2024? Yeah, it's a little spooky. Get ready for Halloween.
Right. Without further ado, man, let's get this thing started for everybody else league too.
It's time for the 4 downs. That's right. The hottest sports news around. BGSE presents 4 downs.
That's right. Like we said, 4 downs, the top headlines that we see that are going on in sports right now. The first one, you sent this to me, and I've heard rumblings of it, but I really didn't go deep into it because there are times when I have to temper where the source of the information is coming from. Of course, we're talking about Cam Newton and the Hall of Fame versus Eli Manning. Should he go in at this point? You know, and all that's around that. So I'm gonna let you take it away on that part.
Well, I'm just strolling through social media, and I don't know if you have a chance to pull these up while I'm talking, the stat comparison. But I'm strolling through social media, and there's just a giant picture that says, if he gets in before me, then I know I will deserve 2 gold jackets. And I had so anyway, that was Cam Newton's take on someone saying that Eli Manning will be on this year's ballot or list of people that can be nominated. Not that he's getting in, but that I think it's been 5 years now that he can just be nominated to go into the NFL Hall of Fame. And we've had this conversation and discussion before. Eli Manning is a quarterback with 2 Super Bowl wins, but they're not the most beautiful wins ever. If you look at his stats, they're not the most beautiful stats ever. So my question to you when I see this, because I know it's so easy, like if you take the X, formerly known as Twitter right now, and you pull that up and you see it, it's like, dude, so many people's like, Cam Newton's the most overrated quarterback. He has no room to talk. I don't know why he is even bringing this up. I don't know why he would compare himself to Eli. He couldn't win the Super Bowl. He did this. He only ran the ball. Like, the hate is real. So it's like Cam Newton is totally being discredited for being a talented quarterback. And I don't know if it's because Cam Newton speaks his mind and he's very vocal that people dislike him or automatically want to discredit what he says. So I was like, yo, I've got to ask the buff nerd, when looking at the 2 of the quarterbacks, who had the better career and who would you put in the Hall of Fame first when it comes to Cam Newton and Eli Manning?
So here's the issue here for me when it comes to Cam Newton and this Hall of Fame talking. It's really not an issue, it's just observance. Cam Newton was a phenomenal player. He was a phenomenal player. He took a lot of hits, but he was a phenomenal player. He could use his legs. He could use his arms. He was a phenomenal athlete. He made it to the Super Bowl. Now, here's the thing about him playing in that Super Bowl. It seemed at certain points where he gave up. He didn't give his all. Now, you can say, well, yeah, I'm talking about that particular play, but I think that was encompassing of a lot of things that were happening with that. Okay. He got hit in the mouth and he didn't know how to respond. And so when you start looking at that, does that evoke a top tier, which we would consider Hall of Fame quarterback? Eli Manning, for whatever you want to say, won 2 Super Bowls. Now, I know what you're going to say. There are other quarterbacks that won 2 Super Bowls who are still not in the Hall of Fame, Jim Plunkett. So,
and there's quarterbacks that didn't win Super Bowls that are in the Hall of Fame.
That are in the Hall of Fame. Dan Marino. Okay.
Jim
Kelly. I will point this out to you. Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl, who will undoubtedly go into the Hall of Fame.
Peyton Manning's already in the Hall of Fame, bro.
He's in the Hall of Fame. First ballot. His last Super Bowl, he did not even score a touchdown. As a matter of fact, I think he barely had over 100 yards passing. Barely. And that was against Cam Newton's Carolina Panthers. So when, again, we're looking at comparisons, it's long sustained, I won't say superiority, but good performance. Has Cam Newton had sustained good performance over his career? The argument is that Eli has been consistent. You can say he hasn't been consistently great, but he's been consistently good enough to win 2 Super Bowls.
Man,
He's consistent enough to have winning seasons. So, I mean, there's the argument. I'm not saying Cam is not a phenomenal player. Will he get there? He should eventually, but will he get there today? No, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
All right.
He's not.
Wow. Is this accurate? They said in a career, Eli Manning played 236 games. Cam Newton played. This is coming from StatMuse, is what I found. Okay, I got to pull that over. So Eli Manning played in 236 games. Cam Newton 148. Cam Newton has 2,682 completions compared to Eli Manning's 4,895 completions. Eli has double the attempts. Cam only has 4,000 attempts. Completion percentage, one is 60.3, the other one's 59.9. Yards, Eli Manning 57,000 yards, Cam Newton 32,000 yards. One average 7 yards a pass, the other one 7.2. Touchdowns, big discrepancy. Eli Manning 366, Cam 194. But interceptions, Eli has 244 career interceptions. To Cam Newton's 123. And then you can't compare the leg. They don't even have that on here. It's just a straight passing comparison. To me, I think the numbers are misconceiving. And I'm not trying to find a reason of why Cam Newton deserves to go in more than Eli Manning. I believe Cam Newton has a right to feel the way he does about thinking that he deserves a gold jacket. I think if he wins that Super Bowl against Denver and doesn't speak his mind, it might be a little bit different. Cam Newton left Carolina. He went to the Patriots. It didn't really work out. He kind of fizzled out from there. He doesn't bite his tongue. He speaks up on everything. He's critical. But at the same time, he's someone that's played the game at a high enough level to where I think he can criticize the quarterback position. So I don't think he should be judged by that, because you have people on ESPN, Fox Sports, and every other network that criticizes the quarterback position that never played it.
But I don't think that's – I think him speaking his mind is not the reason that he doesn't get in, honestly. I think it's more of, again, the consistency. And make sure that you comment, your beliefs and what you think, or why you think Cam should or shouldn't be in. Or Eli's going to get in. We already know that.
It is what it is, huh? That's a done deal?
Yeah, it's a done deal. Now the real question is Cam feeling some kind of way of why he's not. And it's not because of him speaking up and speaking out. I think now more and more you see players do that. But I honestly believe it's how he played the game. And I think it's just the mere fact that the consistency was not there over his tenure. Because Eli played twice as long, therefore Eli should have double his stats.
Double stats.
That just makes sense.
Gotcha.
He should. Just like Kareem played for 20 some odd years. He should have the most points because he played a long ass time. He should. LeBron should have the most points. He should have the most rebounds. He should have the most because he's played a long ass time. It's just a fact. But I do like the fact that when you talk about percentages over that time frame, who has the better percentages? Because to me, that shows you consistency.
Yeah, I think that's the most accurate take on it. My whole thing is, like I said, I bring it up. I bring it to you because it's the pro athlete and the sports fanatics perspective on everything that we do. I think Cam Newton has an argument, but I don't think I think it's going to be a long time before Cam Newton gets that nod for Canton. And does he get in? I'm not blown away by those numbers. Honestly, I'm just not. But at the same time, I don't think Eli deserves to get in. And I think most of his fame comes from the 2 Super Bowls that he had, where he had some great defenses around him and other pieces that made him a lot better. We know that as being football fans. But at the same time, he carries a last name that has a lot of weight behind it. You best believe that has some influence on what happens and how people vote.
I mean, that's what influenced where he went. Instead of him being a Charger, he was a New York Giant.
Facts.
And there's that on that. Second down. So Brett Favre has been diagnosed with Parkinson. And I'm just cutting to the quick with this. I don't want to go around. Everyone knows the story about how he's defrauded Mississippi and really put them already further back. It's a poor state. If you don't know, Mississippi is a poor state. Okay, it is. And he has used those monies to build volleyball stadiums and whatnot, instead of using those funds for what it was supposed to be and meant and dedicated for, helping those who are less fortunate. Big Game and I were talking about this, and I said, man, I don't know if I even want to talk about this, to be honest. And he said, no, it's the thing of, do you believe the sentiment around Favre changes because of this diagnosis?
Right.
The sentiment around him. I can give you my take real quick. It's 2 words, elongated. Hell no. He's a cheat. He's a fraud. The dude did what he did. Unfortunately, because of what has happened in his life, and Parkinson's strikes all kinds of people. You don't have to play football to get it. But come on, man. Parkinson's didn't make you go up there and steal that money. Parkinson didn't say, hey, let me go ahead and let's put this money, towards this volleyball, stadium for my daughter and her friends. No, not at all. Come on, give me a break, man. I'm sorry for it. Hate that it happened to any person.
Oh, no, I got something for you. Oh, no, keep talking. Keep talking. Yeah.
Right, Q? Nope. Bro, come on. You knew better. You know better. You didn't know better. Already on it.
Man, let me say a few things real quick. First and foremost, man, they say a lot of NFL players that suffer CTE are at higher risk of developing Parkinson's disease later on, which is essentially a nervous disorder, neurological mostly. Starts, tremors and everything, and memory loss and movement issues, motor skills, the whole nine. It's a messed up situation. A lot of NFL players have suffered from this, that have dealt with that. The question that I really had was, so he had his congressional hearing, and most of it is about the money and fraud of what happened in his home state of Mississippi. He found out, it comes out today, and it said that he found out in January he was diagnosed with early stages of Parkinson's disease. And then the question to me came up automatically. And I'm not questioning Brett Favre's health. And I want nothing but the best, because when I say one of the most fierce competitors I've ever played against, I mean, I think my jockstrap is still embedded in the soil in Lambeau Field from a move this dude put on me and shook me, and I missed the sack. Like, goddamn, how'd that happen? I just knew I had him in my crosshairs. Great competitor. I love the way he and Warren Sapp went back and forth on our team because we're in the same division. Why is it the timing of the congressional hearing that you let the world know what's going on with you? Is it for sympathy, to try to get a lesser sentence from what's going to happen, or lesser fallout? Or were you using it as a stage and a platform to bring more awareness to what's going on with pro football players or athletes from the CTE, head damage, collisions, and everything else? So what was the real motive of Brett Favre doing what he did? No one knows that but Brett. But I just honestly, when you come to sports fans and football fans, and we have people that tie into us and listen to us and ask us questions later on, Jay, that I really wanted to bring it to the listeners of Big Game Sports Buzz, because it's something that will resonate different with a bunch of different people. Whether you think it's right or wrong or indifferent, or whether you like him or not. Like, Aaron Rodgers gets on your nerves. Aaron Rodgers made my wife say something I never thought I would hear her say before. Like, God, dog, you know what I'm saying? But he does it to certain people. But at the same time, from the human factor is, if he got diagnosed or someone said something about him with this, I think it'd be like 50, like, good, his ass deserved it. And the other half, like, damn, dog, I sure hate to hear that about him, even though he's not one of my favorite people. I think it just all depends.
Good evening. Yeah. Look, here's my thing, and I'm gonna say this with all honesty, I really liked Brett Favre. I really did like him. He was one of my favorite players to watch just for the very reason that you talked about, playing against him. I had him on my fantasy football teams because he get you 30 interceptions, but he'll get you 30 touchdowns. You just got to figure out which week, you're going to get that. But I loved his competitiveness. I loved his joy for the game. To me, the way he played, it seemed like he was just a kid out there playing
in the backyard, throwing the ball around.
And I love to see that.
And one of my best Brett Favre. My bad, Jay. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I'm just saying, I love to see that. When stories like this started to come out, though, about him, especially when it came to Douche Dodgers and how he was treating him, and then when he went to Minnesota and he was like, look, I'm going to stick it to Green Bay because I feel like they stuck it to me, so I'm going to go to Minnesota. Hey, cool. All right, we see who you are. We see who you are. Can't remember you're a Panthers fan. Yes, if you're a fan of already. Yeah, Granddaughter.
I think that's a fair assessment what Granddaughter just said. And for any of you that listen to this later, we had a comment come in that said, if you're a Carolina Panthers fan, yes, you believe Cam Newton should be in the Hall of Fame. If you're just an NFL fan and your team is someone else, no, you don't think he should go into the Hall of Fame. And I think that's an accurate assessment. I don't
think Romo should go to the Hall of Fame.
That doesn't mean a lot of other Dallas Cowboys fans don't, because if you talk to some Jay, they will say that Tony Romo is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
And those are the delusional football fans Cowboys fans that you should run away from and make fun of.
But yet again, a lot of those do exist. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, all of them exist.
And so the same thing for Carolina Panthers fans. Like, I swear to God, tune into my man Rashad and Dave on PNP Network, on Panther Nation's podcast, which they give you great insight, great everything on the Panthers. And you got people that's going to come in there and comment and say some things that you like, did this fool watch the same game I watched? So it happens with everything. Like, I saw some comments this week on my Buccaneers stuff, and I was like, I just ignored it. I was like, I'm not even answering because now you're just being a hateful fan and you're almost stupid. And like, instead of me insult your intelligence, I'll just ignore you, because my mom did teach me right from wrong, although I listen to the wrong more than the right sometimes. And speak when I shouldn't speak. I ignored that one this week. I did a good job. I'm proud of myself this week. I ignored some of the dummies.
I don't know, man. Stupid has to be sought out. It has to be brought to the light like the roaches that it is, right? And that they are, and squashed. Listen, and look, let me first of all say this. Stupid people are needed in this world, because without them, there are no smart people, okay? There aren't even average people. So you need them. You need, unless there's darkness, there's no light. You gotta have them, okay? It's just what it is. But there's a level of stupidity that should not be shared. It shouldn't be brought out. It shouldn't be shared with people, right? All these, these fans that are saying, "Oh yeah, Cam Newton should be in the Hall of Fame." Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay? Right. You know better than that.
Well, all right.
You're showing your ignorance is showing like the brightness of the sun.
Man, it's
super unpopular opinion. Which is more of a fact? Tony Baselli makes it into the Hall of Fame with 7 years of NFL play? Yet. Okay. Hey, how about this? Terrell Davis, how many years did he have? 8? 7? 7, 8?
Yeah, it was cut short for sure.
Yeah.
Cut short. Granddaughter made another good point earlier. Hall of Fame could be subjective. It really can be. And it depends on opinion. And it depends on if you are a fan of that team or not. We totally agree with that. But we're not going to be able to give the horse in the mouth. We're going to keep this thing moving, because I believe this next down, Jay, is going to be really, really good one, man. Hey, Brett Favre, with everything going on, hey, man, thoughts and prayers are with you. I hope nothing but the best for you and your family. One of my favorite NFL moments and memories is still that Monday night game I saw Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers taking on the Raiders after his father passed away on that Monday night game. That was one of the most phenomenal performances I've ever seen from a quarterback, and the way he played the game, it made you respect him. on the field. What he decided to do off the field is his business. It was wrong.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people from the state of Mississippi that feel a certain way about it, yet they should. But nevertheless, we're all human and we all make mistakes. So anyway, shout out to Brett Favre's family and him, and then wish him nothing but the best dealing with that Parkinson's, man.
I put this up because we did talk about this. If Cam won a Super Bowl, should he go into the Hall of Fame? No, because that is a team accomplishment, not individual. Unfortunately, that is not how it is viewed. If you're a quarterback that won a Super Bowl, that is a check mark to get you in the conversation.
But Jay, I don't know if that's always been criteria like it is now, because so many people, even with basketball, they want to label greatness with championships. Because, like, honestly, and I know we got to keep going, because if we really break this thing down, when you always bring up this GOAT debate with LeBron and Jordan, it always reverts back to championships, right?
Championships, yeah.
And then now in football, it's like, well, how many Super Bowls does he have? Do you know how hard it is to get back to the Super Bowl? Ask Joe Burrow in the 0-3 Bengals.
Ask Jim Kelly. They went 4 times in a row and didn't win. Ask San Francisco. They not finna go this year. Favre said the worst sack he got was when a DT from the Bucks named Canada sacked him. He said he was never the same. Big facts.
Hey, how about Granddaughter, find that quote from me. I need to put that up on the bulletin board.
Man, let's get to third down. That's beautiful. Let's get to third down. UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, QB opts to not play because of an NIL promise. And he's saying, you know what? Nah, you ain't going to give me the cash. I'm going to play for you.
Can't pay me. I can't play. Well, man, this thing blew up all over the news today. And while I was at school, I got an ESPN alert on my phone. And, you know, shout out to a couple of my boys, man, that played at that other school down south that wears red that I've actually become good friends with after, you know, continually whipping their ass 3 out of the 4 years I was in the back. No, I'm just playing. But no, nevertheless, this comes up because I had a conversation, really, Jay, not long ago, and I was like, yo, the UNLV Rebels are actually a really good football team right now. They're playing good football. Yeah. They've got good wins. You're going to have to watch out for them. This quarterback they have, Matt Sluka from Holy Cross that transferred in, is amazing. And lo and behold, UNLV just gets named to the AP top 25, ranked 23. They got 2 tough conference games coming up against Boise State, and I think Utah State, or no, Boise State and Fresno State over the next 2 weeks. Is going to get into the thick of it. People are saying if UNLV wins out and wins the Mountain West, they could be that non-Power 4 conference that gets into the playoffs.
Sure.
Their quarterback announces today that he's not going to play because he was promised some NIL money that he didn't get. So, Jay, we've talked about the NIL a million times. And I know the one thing that a lot of people were afraid of, because if people don't know this, the money that gets paid is out of the coach's hands. Because although they can now be paid for the name, image, and likeness from these collectives and these boosters and everything else, there cannot be no real contract negotiation between coaches and players like they're unionized. Remember, so many people talking about they're going to form unions now so they can get paid the right state wages and labor or whatever else. It can't be done. So Sluka said that he was promised his money. Head coach comes out and says that he never told him anything about any money because he didn't get there until summer camp. He didn't come in the spring, come early. So he came in the summer. He won the job. I watched him play against Kansas. I liked the way he played. And I was like, okay, this guy's coming here, going to rebolster this program. He's going to get a shot at the league because he's a big body quarterback, right? Lo and behold, he's saying that they offered him money. The head coach said it didn't. It came from an assistant coach that never should have made that promise anyway. But I just got some breaking news from somebody of what really, really went down. But I want you to just speak on real quick before I break that, Jay.
Yeah.
And I know this source that's telling me this knows some things, right? And he speaks to some people that's in that program. But is this almost a I told you moment or aha You need to get a grip on this NIL thing because it's going to fall into this. Because now there's also a player at USC that is going to take a red shirt as well and not play and look to go somewhere else for a little bit more cash and better his draft status somewhere else next year.
So this goes into the story that we talked about last week on the podcast about NCAA now warning, and colleges really pushing into NCAA to say, you know what, we need to have contracts on these kids.
Right.
We want to go ahead and put them under contract to say you're going to play for us for X amount of years, whether it's 1 or 3.
Right.
This is that reason. This is the reason for that, okay, for that conversation, for the reason why the kids up on the East Coast, and I believe it's Penn, that want to unionize, that are saying if we're being paid, then we need to have a union. We need to be able to have representation. Because here's the other part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kids can't have representation. And that is what's really making this cycle tough, because the kids are saying, well, I need to talk to someone that's not affiliated with the university. I need to be able to talk to someone that knows this, i.e. agent, lawyer, strategist, someone, but they're not able to do that. And so does he have the right? You know what? Whether he does or he doesn't, if you make a promise, whoever makes that promise and the head coach ultimately is the person in charge, you have to honor that, or hey, he's going to sit out.
So, Jay, this is my thing. We said a long time ago they needed to do a better job of coming up with this how they did. And we talked about how some teams are going to benefit and how we see it now with the Pac-12 plucking the Mountain West and looking to get other schools from the American, the Sun Belt, and Conference USA, right? Every team that makes money, the Pac-12 is trying to go get those teams, right? Yeah. But this is what I heard. So Sluka agreed to go to UNLV. And it was late. He was playing like a numbers game, trying to search and see where he was going to go. And he ended up at LV. And he was saying that he was promised $200,000, and it was now he got part of it and didn't get all of it. From what I understand, and different agents that I talked to, is that we got to pull that Marvin Thomas comment up. What I heard is when you get your NIL deal, most schools pay you out over a 12-month period. So whatever you agree to, they divide that over 12, and that's what you get paid monthly.
Yes, Marvin.
Yep. So anyway, Sluka goes into the coach's office like, look, we're playing well. We're hitting the top 25. I'm helping the school get more notoriety and publicity. I need more money. And it's really try to use their ranking and what's going on as a power play to get more. And I guess the head coach was like, look, you got what you got. I didn't agree to that. I don't know where that came from. So, you do what you got to do. And so he took it to where, you know what? I'm out. I'll redshirt. I'll go somewhere next year because I still have another year of eligibility if I use my red shirt now. But it's so many things to me wrong with this and how it just taints the whole picture. Because realistically, knowing what I know from one source changes what I thought 4 hours ago when I first heard the story. When I first heard the story, I was like, this is he making a business decision or is he quitting on his team? Is he being selfish? Because we knew once money got involved, it changes the motivation for a lot of these young players. When I played, Jay, and got to school, and me and my buddy, shout out to my man Big Steve, who I just talked to earlier today, we like, dude, we lived and died. We would have died just to go play college football. Like, that was like, we saw that as our only means of getting to school. Like, that's what we kind of lived for. Nowadays, these kids, like, oh, that's cool, they offer me, but who's going to offer me the most money? I mean, they've already looking at it differently. So it's already changed and reformed the whole mindset of most of these young people that have a chance to go play at these Power 4 schools because they know the kind of money that's going to be involved. So, the Sluka making a smart decision, or is he being greedy?
But gang, I have to point back to, so I've been privileged enough to meet with and be around and have conversations with gentlemen that played the National Football League back in the 60s, right? When you had the first Super Bowl, when you had AFL and NFL, right? And these gentlemen had to work in the summer or in the off season because they weren't getting paid enough to sustain a quote unquote lifestyle that one would think they would have, right? So you talk about how now 50, 60 years later, when we go from Super Bowl I, where you have Mean Joe Green, singing and doing all kinds of other stuff, right? And people working at car washes and people doing other jobs, odd jobs in the off season. To now you got people that are making $231 million guaranteed over 4 years and still saying, I don't know if that's enough. I'll have to renegotiate. You know what? I'm not going to play the game. It's the evolution of the game. And I get it. I do get it. But I'm happy for the kid to be able to renegotiate and say, hey, I'm better than what you were paying me. I'm better than what you believe I was. And maybe he surprised himself. And so now he's betting on himself. And the system now allows him to redshirt, hit the portal, and go play somewhere else next year.
But Jay, if you agree to something, and then all of a sudden you see you put a little extra gravy on it, is it a punk move to bail out of what you agreed to try to finagle some more money out of somebody?
You honor your contract. I'll say it like that. You honor your contract. But that is not how sports works today. That's not how it works today. And we know that because that is why people sit in or they sit out of training camp. And we saw that from the receivers this year, inclusive of the Dallas Cowboys receiver who said, I'm going to sit out and wait. Jamar Chase sat out and wait. He's not even eligible for an extension until next year. So he's trying to leverage while everyone else is doing their extensions. And he's not even eligible. So, I mean, come on.
We got to talk about this too in a minute.
Yes, it is the natural evolution of the game, or is it the business that is changing the game? And maybe it's going down a hole that may not be so good. Grandizer is definitely changing.
Big time change.
But, NCAA is a $1 billion business that was making money off of the backs of these kids. And the only people that were making money off of this were the colleges and the coaches, not the kids. So I'm rooting for him.
I mean, you know me as a former collegiate student, college athlete. I've always said that we needed to be paid. It's just the way it goes about doing it. But to me, if you come in and you agree to one set amount of money, and now all of a sudden you're like, man, shit, I think I got you and your dad get together, talk up, like, you know what, son, let's go get some more money because you're doing real good. That's a punk ass move to me, bro. In the middle of the year, 3-0, you just ride, dog. You ride this thing out. You play the hi-hat. You won't need no NIL money. You gonna go get an NFL contract.
Yeah. And I mean, and it goes back to what Grandizer actually was, said in the comment. Hey, is this collegiate sports anymore? Is this? And really, that's not the question. Is it amateurism at this point?
No, it's past amateurism. He's trying to get too much money.
It's past amateurism.
Right.
Exactly. Let's not think of it as a collegiate game. Let's think of it as a semi-professional league, because that is what it is. It's a semi-professional league, not set up like your baseball or, your soccer or anything like that. It is set up to where, hey, you have, and I know there's a lot of comments and we love it. Beautiful. Keep them coming. It is set up so that you have a means of recruiting or getting or drafting young players or players to come into your system. And you can look at certain, teams like the Philadelphia Eagles who like to draft Georgia Bulldogs. If you look at their squad, half of them are Georgia Bulldogs.
It's not half. They got like 4
that are starting on their defense. Come on, man. Let's be real.
Shit, they get no, but I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, I just thought this was crazy. This is a wild story. This is the first kind of its kind because it had happened before. No one ever said that, hey, this is quarterback missing season because of NIL. What the hell? When you ain't heard that before? Never.
Not because of NIL, no,
right.
but you've heard it because of I'm not going to play.
No, you heard ankle or knee. Now you see the opt out in bowl games. That's different because that's right before the draft.
No. Because I point to the latest was Jalen Hurts, who said, "Okay, I'm not going to play at Alabama. I'm going to Oklahoma."
Yeah, but what they pretty much told him Tua was going to take his job.
Battle for it.
Come that's on. Different.
Battle that's for different. Your spot. How's that different?
Because he didn't leave because they said, "Hey man, we're gonna give you 100,000." Well, I want 200 now. I'm gone. It's different.
But see, it's not different. It's not, and that's what I'm talking about. Whether it's money or whether it's position. If you love that program, if you love to play for that team, if you love to play with those band of brothers, then you stick it out. And you know what? You step up and be better.
Buff nerd, I'm gonna tell you why. You know why? Those band of brothers aren't gonna get me drafted if I'm standing on the goddamn bench and sideline. If I know I need to play, if I need to play to have film to get drafted by the NFL, I'm going to the next school that needs me. Why do you think Gabriel left Oklahoma to go to Oregon? Because
I know why they all left.
Okay,
I know why they all, and it's all the same.
Okay,
it's why Caleb left Oklahoma to go to USC. And he was starting at Oklahoma,
but he chased the
went
bag
because of Riley. He
did chase the bag.
To
chase the bag. He got over $1 million NIL deal. I would have left too.
And you know what? He's also said, "Hey, I know that I was sucking at USC, but I'm still the #1 overall draft pick."
Damn, he was sucking at USC,
bro. That
he won the Heisman at USC.
And what was the record of USC?
Last year?
How well did he do when in his last year at USC?
They sucked.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm messing with you. I know what you mean, but on real talk though, in this situation alone.
Thank you. The moral side, stick with your bros, play together, loyalty. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I feel y'all to an extent. But that's just like now you're going to tell me when a guy gets to the NFL, he becomes a free agent. He shouldn't leave his team because he needs to stick with his bros instead of getting his bag.
It's different. Now, see, that's different.
About money. That's different.
That's different because here's the point. The point is now we're talking about professional. You're a professional now. Okay. We're talking about amateurism. You were talking about me and my homeboy, we just wanted to play ball. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to play ball. And I'm sure y'all wanted to play ball together, right?
No.
Here it's different.
We met in college, but our point was
y'all met in college.
We laid it all on the line. All we wanted to do was go play football. So like anything else you get would have gotten dog. I couldn't imagine being me right now. being me right now at 20. Dog, the bread they getting, man, please. Come on.
Grandizer. Yes. Most fans would say they should take home discounts. I say that, right? Players going to get the most to get the bag, and now they've realized that. Here's what I believe the player now is saying, listen, bump them fans. Bump them fans because if I don't get paid, that's the problem. The fans don't pay me.
I mean, let me tell you.
The fans don't pay me.
I love Tampa. And when Indianapolis offered me more money, my ass was out like a thief in the night. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And now they do a better job with their health care and pension plans, if I'm not mistaken. You can speak more to this.
It's how they do NFL players is still bullshit. NBA.
I'm just saying better. I didn't say.
No, I know. And I'm not yelling at you like you're supposed to know this. But what they do in the NFL, and we'll move on because this can turn into a whole other show by itself. You only get health care, insurance, and benefits for 5 years after you're done playing. And then after that, if you want the insurance after that, you have to pay for it. Now, there's some other programs and stuff that go on that I've been able to take advantage of and utilize, and it's been good for me. But when they go in and back to negotiate again, they need to try to figure out a way to keep that healthcare plan in place for the rest of that player's life, natural life.
Yeah.
Even if you don't cover the family, if you just cover that player and the family has to get other insurance, that's cool. But that's a whole nother subject and a whole nother thing, man. Let's get to
most
this.
Fans don't see about the business. They just want football, and that's it. That's all they want. Hey, last one real quick. Ohtani finally gets the 50-50 club, the first and the only to do that. Are we ready to go ahead and call this man, Shohei Ohtani, the GOAT of baseball, the greatest of all time? Are we ready for that?
This is amazing. This dude is unreal. First and foremost, Jay, just to be able to pitch and then come back the next night and play a regular position is phenomenal. And then now, all of a sudden, 1 year, you got 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases?
Correct. In the same
What
season.
the hell? And it ain't never, ever been done before. And it came up to me like, do we crown him and put him in GOAT conversation? Because he is a foreign-born player, like most players in Major League Baseball. But he spent majority of his career over in Japan, right? I don't want to insult anybody and say the wrong thing. Japan.
So,
right?
Yeah, so so from 2013 to 2017, he was in Japan. Okay, so all right, 5 years. So 2018 to present, and I didn't realize he's been here this long. I'm just going to read
a little bit longer than I thought too. Okay,
right. I'm going to read you these highlights. I'm going to go as quick as I can. Let's start with the Nippon Professional Baseball League, or NPB. So Japan Series champion 2016. That was, I believe, the next to last year that he was there. 5-time All-Star from 2013 to 2017. So since his rookie year. Pacific League MVP, 2-time Pacific League pitcher, best 9. So he's like the best, right? Designated hitter, best 9, Pacific League ERA leader, Pacific League Battery Award. So, best batter, 2-time Japan Professional Sports Grand Prize, so Japanese Player of the Year, and WBSC Player of the Year, which is the World Baseball Classic. That was just in Japan. That was just between 2013 and 2017. In the majors, he's a 4-time All-Star, a 2-time AL MVP, a 4-time AL MB first team, a 2-time All Baseball second team. He was AL Rookie of the Year both here as well as in Japan.
Why are y'all yelling?
I love it. Tell him I love him and I'm here. He's a 2-time Silver Slugger, 3-time Edgar Martinez Award. He's an AL Hank Aaron Award winner, an AL Home Run leader, AL Triples leader, Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award, 2-time AP Male Athlete of the Year, and hits for the cycle on the 29th. I mean, dude, he's the MVP for the World Baseball Classic and All World Baseball Classic team, which they won in 2023. He's the GOAT. He's done everything. He's done everything.
When I say amazing, man, those numbers are beyond crazy, are beyond wild. And I think the thing about Tony is what he does is people who aren't even big on baseball kind of tune in to see what he's doing and what he's going to do next. And it makes it amazing to kind of know what's going on.
Here's what I have to say. I heard this comment and it made me think, and I have to, and it made me pause. Instead of hating on greatness, you need to stop and appreciate it. And I'll put it to you like this. There are people who hate Jordan. They hate on Jordan. They hate on LeBron. They hate on Kobe. They hate on Ohtani. They hate on douche Dodgers. They hate on these people, right? Without enjoying the greatness that they are witnessing. Caitlin Clark is another one. People are hating on Caitlin Clark. Why? Because she's that good. People hate on Steph Curry because he's that good. He's that good. So we say, hey, without the hate, you don't elevate. We get it. But enjoy what you're seeing and watching because you may not see it again in your lifetime.
Hey, man, that's a great job, Jay. I don't know if you heard the banter in my home, and I don't know.
Man,
I meant to hit mute on my mic before I yelled downstairs. But we just got some surprise visitors to come into town to watch my son's football game this week. So that's kind of what's going on. So if anybody listening to this cast and hear some background noise, that's what it is. Please forgive me.
They got past security.
Granddad just said they got past security, dog. It's ready. So
that's what he said.
But, hey,
I love it.
So Jay, to me,
yeah,
just yelling in the middle of the show, you know what that made me say?
What did it make you say, man?
Oh, hell no! 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 Oh, hell no!
Oh, hell no.
That's right. This is the part of the podcast where we get to look at things that happen throughout the week that is either sent to us or we see that make us say, oh, hell no. I have two, and I think for second time, we're going to do those two, or you have one?
Nah, we're gonna roll with yours, bro. It's those are two good ones that I think are gonna definitely generate some conversation and stuff. So
let me hop into this first one right here. The WNBA. Now we keep talking about how the WNBA needs to be taken seriously and they want to be taken seriously and all this other stuff. So I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna take these glasses off so I can read this because it is worth reading. The day before their first playoff game, the Connecticut Sun had to share their practice court with a community event. You said, that's interesting. What is the community event? It's normal at this point. I mean, Mohagan has to do better. And we're talking about the commissioner. Thomas told the Next before Sunday's game, we're a professional team. We're competing for playoffs. And to have to share your court with a 2-year-old's birthday party is the ultimate disrespect. We need more. We need better to compete at the highest level.
Stop. You sent me this. Did you say a 2-year-old's birthday party?
A 2-year-old's birthday party.
You did not say the Connecticut Sun practice center got rented out by somebody whose 2-year-old was having a party and they had to share their practice space. I don't even have a button for that, dog. I just
damn. Damn.
How is this even okay? Okay, let me guess. They booked this before the playoff schedule came out.
Right.
They couldn't make them reschedule, or they rescheduled the practice time
they
where there's no
bump
conflict.
Them, man. It's the 2-year-old. It's the 2-year-old. She's clearly going to remember that 2-year-old part of the community events.
Man, we all know that any birthday party for a child from the ages of 1 to 5 are clearly for adults. There's no toddler that knows what the hell is going on in the birthday party.
Oh man, I absolutely do.
Bro,
it's a 2-year-old birthday party.
I'm dead right now. I'm dead. I ain't never in my life heard nothing like that. Ever. And they talking about how equality and how much they want to change the game and everything else. And
changing the game. Caitlin Clark. There you go. So, and maybe that was the strategy. You know, hey, if I can guard a 2-year-old, I can guard Caitlin Clark. What you think? Maybe?
Hey, you ever seen them little slippery rascals run around? I bet a 2-year-old is hella hard to guard, bro, because they can go through your legs.
You stupid.
Oh, you wascally wabbit.
Oh my gosh. In other things that I listen, people send me stuff and I find stuff on my algorithm that makes absolutely no sense at all. Let me make sure that I got this right. Because listen, folks, you won't believe me if I told you. But over in a country, they have what's called the UDKC, If you're not familiar with this league, because there's a lot of leagues around, okay, the UDKC is the ultimate dick kicking championship. You heard me correct. You heard me. That's it right there. There's two dudes kicking each other in the dick. That's what they're doing. They're kicking each other. I'm hoping they're kicking each other. And they go and they kick each other. They get 3 swings of a leg and they kick each other in the dick. That's what they do. It's oh hell no. What,
bro?
What are we doing? What
I thought the slap league was a little crazy. You know, the one they got to put the cotton stuff in their ears and hold the they just slapped the snot out of each other. I thought that was crazy.
No.
They must not have balls in this country.
Man, listen.
Why do you enjoy getting kicked in your nuts?
First of all, you got to think of before you get in the ring, you got to get checked for a cup.
Well, you can't wear a cup?
You can't wear a cup.
Stop playing.
Cup? No.
I'm done. I'm sick.
He's sick.
Just kicking people in the ding dong. Huh?
Man, let's listen. I know we're gonna do petite wines. It's a lawsuit. You signed the contract. It's just like in wrestling. You signed the contract. That's what it is.
When you sign your name on the dotted line, Dusty Rhodes.
You signed the name on the dotted line, baby. So let's go.
Bro.
Go get.
Okay. It's oh hell no. We gotta move. I know that. I gotta ask you this. Yes. Does this sport make its way to the United States? Will we see a nut kicking contest on ESPN the Ocho?
Listen, if we have bare knuckle fighting championships, which we do, I can't see why this can't make it here. Bro, if it can make it there, it can make it here. I need to see this in the Olympics. There needs to be a petition.
Break dancing was enough. We don't need to see nut kicking in the Olympics.
This is the new break dancing.
Your girl, what's her name? What was your girl's name?
Ray Gun.
Rachel Gunn.
No. That's my girl. Ray Gun, I'm looking for you, boo. I'm looking for you. We can make beautiful moves together. Would you say, oh hell no?
Oh hell no to Ray Gun. Oh hell no to getting kicked in the balls.
No. UDKC, man. Ultimate Dick Kicking Championship. Real thing.
Hey man, we skipping are we skipping pick 6 tonight?
We don't have to. Hey, I'm here all night, man. I'm here all night. What you want to do?
All right, cool. Hey, let's do this, man.
Between the Lines, powered by Loyal to Ash Cigar Subscription. Get your subscription today.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay, let me get this together here. So Between the Lines, we just do a pick 6, and then we go straight to the top 5. I can't keep it together. I'm trying, bro.
Hey man, someone said Travis Kelce was getting benched. Did you see that? Is that true or fake news?
That's fake. Who benched for who? Do you even know who the backup tight end is?
Like something came up, and I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to see if it was real." Then it came up on Reddit. I was like, "Okay, that's fake. If it's on Reddit, I'm not believing." So I was like, "Just ask you because I don't know if you heard anything." I didn't know.
No, he's not being benched.
All right, he's walking around looking like Dirk Diggler, so I didn't know, bro. I didn't know what's going on in his mind.
Just like Gardner Minshew, we'll be okay. He'll be okay.
Gardner Minshew, boy, the Panthers took a bite out that ass. Anyway, all right, man, pick 6. First game, Falcons versus Saints. Who you like?
Oh, man. Listen, I'm picking the Saints. I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm picking the Saints. Kirk Kane is still Kirk Kane. And for some reason, they haven't been able to get Bijan Robinson going yet. But if they do, and New Orleans does not look like a team that wants to give up a lot of runs, which they don't. That offense is humming. Tyson Hill, I believe, is questionable or doubtful, but who cares?
Yeah.
Look, man, that they figured it out. They've got it going. So yeah, I'm picking the Saints.
All right, man. Hey, believe it or not, I'm right there with you, Atlanta. My mom always says is the Falcons will always find a way to lose. And they did. And I'm not talking too crazy because I got to deal with them in a couple weeks. But I'm going Saints as well. Vikings, Packers. Are you a believer of the Vikings, J-Stogs? They're 3-0 right now.
Man, this is a tough one. Who is that? Will Levis? Who's the quarterback now? It's not Will Levis. Who's the other kid?
No, it's your man. Man, you made me. I was about to say it's Darnold, Sam Darnold.
No. I'm talking for Green Bay.
Malik Willis.
Thank you. Okay, so Malik Willis showed some signs and showed how he can use his legs. In last week, so he looked nice. Okay, cool. Minnesota again has figured out a formula with this guy, with Sam Darnold, and I don't know what it is, but I'm picking the Vikings. I think they have a better offense than the Packers do. This is the craziest thing ever, man. Never in a million years.
Never in a million.
Would I?
J-Stogs, I feel you, man. The way Aaron Jones is running the ball very, very well for them. Sam Darnold is playing well. It's making you think, like, why the hell did Carolina get rid of him when they had him? After he came from the Jets to the Wells, he's bounced around. He's found home now. Malik Willis looked great, but I believe Tennessee was just really that bad last week against Green Bay. I'm with you. Give me the Vikings, man.
Give it time, Sam will Sam eventually. Maybe, but it won't be that week.
Shit, he been salmon so far, bro. It's hard to keep picking against him. And we know it's early. Aaron, we know it's early. So it's going to, trust me, because when we do these Power 5, you're going to be like, big game, what? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, too. Bills, Ravens. Did the Ravens make a believer out of you after they whipped up the Cowboys? I didn't have to say that, did I?
You know what, man? Here's the thing. What was odd about it was I believe they could have won by more. There were some miscues. Something's going on. They ran a lot. Okay. And maybe it was the fact that they didn't have to, but that game came actually down to the wire. It wasn't a blowout like it basically was in the first 3 quarters. Am I a believer in the Ravens? I actually think that they can find ways, like Atlanta, to lose. And I don't want to pick against them because I do like Derrick Henry. I do like the running game, and I like the dual threat of Baltimore. But who they playing?
The Bills.
Let me tell you something about the Buffalo Bills, man. Them dudes is here. Hey, Jared Allen is out here. I mean, Josh Allen's out here to prove something to people. Oh my God, they choke you.
I'm live. Yeah, you said Jared Allen. I got confused.
Yeah, my bad. Josh Allen's out here to prove something to people. I'm picking the Bills.
Not so fast, my friend, and my lead course. The Bills are playing well. And I know I always give Josh Allen hell a lot. They are playing a lot better, playing with the purpose. But I believe that Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry figured out how to coexist against the Cowboys last week. And I think that the Ravens will go in and handle business on the road in this game. I know they're going to Buffalo. They're playing against Bills Mafia fans as well. But I think the Ravens will get this done. Give me the Ravens. this next game, I didn't want to put it on here, but it's the first game of the week. And I had to hear you talk about South America's team, since they're the number one team in Mexico right now. The Dallas Cowboys take on the New York football Giants in New York. Who wins this game, J-Stogs?
Cowboys come back and figure it out. Listen, the Giants are a dumpster fire. Everyone knows that. Dable's going to get fired. Okay, whatever. The Gigantes are going to get Dable's going to get fired, if not by the bye week, definitely by the end of the season.
Mid-season firing.
Yeah. It's getting very bad. The boos are getting louder, and yeah, they won. Okay, whatever, but that's a bad team over there. That's a very bad team. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback at all, and they miss Saquon.
Man, and Malik Neighbors, thank God for him.
Yes. But yeah, they'll lose.
I'll say this:
Cowboys.
I'm picking your Cowboys as well, just because roster-wise they have better talent and a better roster.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something going on there in that Dallas Cowboys locker room. They're not playing together. If they don't win this game, Jay, the Cowboys are going to have the worst season they've had in the last 10 years.
Agreed.
If they lose this game, it's going to be downhill. Mike McCarthy won't make it through the season. The team's going to quit, and there's going to be problems and be in Triple D. But I think they get things done only because of what you said also. Daniel Jones is the Giants quarterback, and he finds ways to lose.
Yeah, I don't see them firing McCarthy. The only way I see them firing McCarthy is if the team quits during the game. That's the only way I see it. They can lose because we saw with Dave Campo, the team gave up on Campo and he was out midseason. Actually, matter of fact, Ryan, I can see his big old face, and he won with the Rams the very next year as a defensive coordinator. Anyway, but when your team quits on you and your owner sees that, who's also your GM, yeah, he's gonna fire you. You're fired. So right now they'll still play for McCarthy, but we'll see how long that lasts. When that ends, he's over.
All right. Next one. Jags, Texans. And you might be like, big game. Why the hell did you put this on here? I believe Doug Peterson's coaching for his job, and CJ Stroud and the Texans, who you said was going to represent the AFC this year in the Super Bowl. No, you said conference championship or Super Bowl.
I say conference championship.
Okay, whatever you say right now, they don't look like that kind of team. They look god awful in 3 games so far this year. And because he's my fantasy quarterback and not doing well, I really want to fight somebody.
The Texans are 2-1 though. Okay, they had a bad game. Listen, everyone has a bad game. Look at Arizona is.
Or is Minnesota that good? Or is Minnesota that good to where they lost the team that's supposed to lose to?
I mean, the same question is not Carolina, but is New Orleans that good, right? And they're putting up the points that they're putting up. I mean, it's just
they played Philly though.
Okay, but they still won. Tampa Bay. No one saw this from Tampa Bay. No one did. Not even people from Tampa Bay. They said, "Oh, they're good."
The Denver game kind of exposed Tampa.
But I mean, and you know this, it's about matchups, right? And so you find out and figure out who is your best matchup and who's your worst matchup. People that are under the Shanahan tree do well against Zimmer because they know what he does and they know how to match up against him. Okay, so yeah, I'm with that.
All right,
the Texans are still good.
Texans, I think Texans win this game. Doug Peterson might be on the chopping block real early in Tampa. I mean, in Jacksonville. Last game, and it's one that I got to talk about. Buccaneers versus Eagles.
This is a tough game to call. I like I like Tampa Bay and what they have put together. But it's hard to go against the Feagles because of their history.
Oh man, I'm gonna say
it's hard to go against it's hard to go against the Feagles, but the Feagles are a dumpster fire as well. They're finding ways to lose. But I do believe that they have enough to top the Bucks, but it is close. And I could see it go both ways. But if I had to choose, I would choose the Feagles over the Bucks.
If the Buccaneers played better against Denver, my pick would be a lot different because they played the way they did and they seemed to take 2 steps backwards against the Denver Broncos team that was struggling to stay afloat. I like Philly to win this game. We're going on the road to Philly. Jalen Carter and that defensive line. Cody Mock looked horrible last week against the Broncos, man. And I told you I was afraid of that. The injuries on the defensive line, we didn't get pressure on Bo Nix. And if Jalen Hurts has time, he's not a bad quarterback. Every time he's looked bad this year, he's been under pressure. And if the Buccaneers can't get pressure, they won't win the game. I'm going to take Philly at home on this, and it pains me to say this, but, that's just what I think it is this time, man.
I understand.
That's our pick 6, man. Let's get on with the get up. Hey, man, let us know below who you think going to do what this weekend and what games are key games. But until then,
it's time for the top 5. Who's in, who's out, what's in, what's out. Big Game Sports Top 5.
That's right. Some people have a top 100. Some have a top 50. Some have a top 25. Some people punk out and have a top 10, but not here at Big Game Sports. No. Who's in, who's out, what's in, what's out. Top 5 power teams in the National Football League. Who are your top 5 teams in the National Football League? Big Game?
Man, your mic's tripping again, Stocks. Hey, man, this is crazy to me that we do power rankings through the NFL and it changes week to week because I know what we had week 1 going into what we have now totally changed for me because some teams showed their ass and they had to get the boot. And some teams made a semi-believer out of me through week 3, and yet I know it'll change the next couple. But needless to say, let's go. Number 5 team we just talked about that's looking good on defense and on offense, the Minnesota Vikings. They're currently at 3-0, looking pretty good. The Philadelphia Eagles, that roster is still deep enough, a lot of talent. I think they still find ways to win. Give me the Eagles at 4. Although my team beat them in week 2, I still like Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. I got them in number 3. Number 2 is a team that I hate to give credit to. That's the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen's playing very well. And I got to tip my hat off to how he's playing right now, what the Bills are doing, being undefeated. And then last but not least, until someone beats Kermit the Frog, I got to take the Kansas City Chiefs.
Like Kermit the Frog. That's cold right there. That's really cold. All right. Man, let's go through this thing. I agree with you. 1 and 2, KC, Buffalo, in that order. They're going to be right there in the AFC playoffs. Someone's going to knock them out. It could be my number 5 team, the Houston Texans. I had to downgrade them. But they're still a top 5 team. They're still the best team.
They fell out of mine. I feel you, though. That's cool.
I still believe in D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud and Dale and Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins, man. Hey, look, that's a formidable receiving core. Then you put Joe Mixon, and yes, he's banged up right now, but I still believe in that team offensively, and D'Amico's going to have that defense playing well. So, hey, I got to go with him. New Orleans, look, they're surprising me, and so I put them in at 4. Let me see what else. If you can continue this, I know. Hey, when you second line a team in their own city, hey, you did that. You did that. You won the week. You won the week. And for me, number 3 is Minnesota. I'll drink some of that I'll drink some of the purple Kool-Aid, man. Look, they're riding high. They're feeling good. I thought Justin Jefferson was going to suffer because of the bad quarterback play, but they have.
You did, because he wasn't even on your top 5 wide receivers in the NFC.
No, he wasn't, and it was for that very reason. And you know what? Sam Darnold and that offensive scheme has found a way. And you have Jones that's backing him up. So now you have a balanced offense. So there you go. There's my top 5. Let's get it.
Good job, Buff Nerd. I appreciate it, man. Hey, any of y'all down there, if you check this show out later, make it this far in the cast with us acting a fool, who is your top 5 NFL teams so far of this 2024 season? Uncle Joe is definitely not the Raiders because they choked against the Carolina Panthers. That's
yeah.
Andy Dalton. Andy damn Dalton. Goddamn Raiders cost. I ain't gonna talk about the money they cost me, man. Goddamn. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, man. Hey,
it is what it
Nerd
is.
J-Stogs. I'm your boy, Big Game James. Thank y'all for tuning in. As always, we appreciate everything. Drop those comments below. Leave us a question. We'll get back with you. And until next week. Oh, wait. Tomorrow. Big Game Sports Buzz. 2 birds, 1 show. The Philly Sports Talk and the Sports Fanatic and the Pro Athlete get together to talk some trash talk about the Buccaneers and the Eagles game. The Buff Nerd might only be there for a glimpse, but your boy Big Game James will be joining Dieter and Ricky T on 2 birds, 1 show. So y'all make sure y'all check us out tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 Central time. Is that right?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Hell, look for the notification on YouTube. Hey, until next time, peace.
Who you know that got it behind the scenes like behind the O-line soon as the QB say hype. It's big gang, big gang. Analysis from the player's point of view. Injuries, big trades, player news.